Good morning. Welcome to Peace United Church of Christ, where no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you're welcome here. I'm Reverend Jen Einsbar, Associate Pastor. So today is the fifth Sunday of our Epiphany, created in God's image worship service, or series. Today's theme is Standing Together.
The first reading this morning is from Psalm 13. Lord, how long must I wait? Will you forget me forever? How long will you turn your face away from me? How long must I struggle with my thoughts? How long must my heart be sad, day after day? How long will my enemies keep winning the battle over me? Lord my God, look at me, answer me. Give me new life or I will die. Then my enemies will say, we have beaten him. They will be filled with joy when I die. But I trust in your faithful love. My heart is filled with joy because you will save me. I will sing praise to the Lord. The Lord has been so good to me. And from Matthew's 22nd chapter, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul. Love him with all your mind. This is the first and most important commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Everything that is written in the law and the prophets is based on these two commandments. And from John's 4th chapter, dear friends, let us love one another, because love comes from God. Everyone who loves has become a child of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. For the wisdom contained in these holy words, we give thanks. Amen.
I want us to take a minute before I start the sermon this morning. Think about someone you know. Could be a family member, a friend, a co-worker, someone, at least one person, that's part of the LGBTQI community. Think about them as we continue on and talk about being an ally. Lord, how long must I wait? How long must my heart be sad day after day? How long will my enemies keep winning the battle over me? As a gay person, I've wondered how long until I can live my life authentically without fear. While I have hope in God, I also have hope in the work that allies are doing with the LGBTQ plus community. My hope in allies comes from my personal experiences. I'm going to share two of my personal experiences with you today. But before I share those experiences, I want to take just a minute to talk about what is an ally. There's a lot of different definitions. This is what I'm going to use today. Being an ally takes action. Allies work to stay informed on current LGBTQ plus issues and events. They speak up for what's right and support equality by fighting for policies protecting LGBTQ plus individuals and from discrimination, and they fight policies that are harmful to LGBT plus individuals. Allies have a powerful and influential voice that they can use to help us. So my first experience comes when I was probably in my late 30s, maybe early 40s. There was a time in my life, and some of you have heard this before, I wanted nothing to do with Christianity. The main reason was that I attended Pride event, and there were these Christians outside the Pride event holding signs and yelling at me and the other attendees. Their message to us was that we're sinners, we're an abomination, and we're going to hell. And it kept going with other things. You kind of can imagine what they were. But at the suggestion of my therapist, I attended a UCC church. Pastor was a lesbian, and there were many people from the LGBTQ plus community in the congregation. While everyone at the church was welcoming and affirming, something was in the back of my mind just nagging me. That something was, well, of course, a lesbian pastor is going to be supportive of welcoming the LGBT plus community. And so will the people there that are in the community. I left that church for various reasons and joined a different UCC church. This new church was open and affirming and had a straight pastor. I quickly realized that this pastor was an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. She affirmed that we are beloved children of God, created in God's image, just the way we are. While the church was open and affirming, not everyone in that church was on the same page when it came to the LGBT community and individuals. This pastor fought so that I could be on the board of elders. When members of the LGBTQ plus community went to her to discuss having a community transgender day of remembrance service, she opened the church doors for that service. While actively participating in bringing that service to life, she did not take over the planning, but walked with those in the community planning the event. The pastor also was involved in activities outside of the church that supported the LGBT plus community. She also encouraged and supported me in my faith journey and encouraged me to attend seminary. Well, Pastor Wendy has continued to support me through seminary and being called to Peace UCC. Yeah, you caught that. It was Pastor Wendy, but it was in Indiana, not in Missouri. And Indiana is much like Missouri politically. So this one ally of the LGBT plus community, Pastor Wendy, has made a big difference in my life. Without her being an ally, I wouldn't be standing here today. So this is just one example of how an individual ally can make a difference in someone's life. I asked some of my friends in the LGBT plus community what they would like to tell someone who is an ally or wants to become an ally. Because I wanted you to hear multiple voices, not just my voice, of what we need, what we want from allies. So I'm going to share some of their answers with you now. From Reverend Rob, in spaces where I am not welcome, when we are together, don't speak for me. Use your privilege to make space for me to speak for myself. I don't need another hero. I need a waymaker. Someone to save me a place at the table so I can be a part of the community and advocate for myself. When I am not with you and someone starts talking behind my back, say something, a lot of things. Let them know who you are and what you believe in. This is how I know who my friends really are. From Sarah, listen carefully to your queer friends and don't assume you know what is needed. People's lives are at risk, always, and particularly with recent anti-transgender legislation. Then speak up, even if your voice shakes, even if it's just to say ouch when homophobic or transphobic comments are made. From Reverend Tim, take the time to educate yourself about the LGBTQ plus community, its history, and the challenges faced by its members. Understanding the terminology and issues will help you be a more informed ally. Actively listen to the experiences and perspectives of queer individuals. Everyone's journey is unique, and by listening, you can gain insight into the challenges they face. Challenge homophobic and transphobic comments or actions when you encounter them. Your voice can make a significant impact in creating a more inclusive environment. Attend LGBTQ plus events. Participate in Pride celebrations and support organizations working for LGBTQ plus rights. This shows solidarity and helps create a sense of community. Create an open and inclusive environment for your LGBTQ plus friends and colleagues. Let them know that you are a supportive and understanding ally. Support policies and initiatives that promote equal rights for everyone, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Embrace and celebrate the diversity within the LGBT plus community. Appreciate the richness and different identities and backgrounds bring. Understand that everyone is on their own journey of learning and growth. If you make a mistake or you receive feedback, be open to learning from it and improving. So I want to thank my friends that responded on Facebook. And if you want, there's more answers there on my Facebook page. I think I got it pretty well locked down, so if you're not friends with me, you may not be able to see it, but we could take care of that if you wanted. So I hope that these insights, though, that came from our community has provided help so that you can be a better ally. So my second experience is about allies working with the LGBT plus community to bring about marriage equality. Lynn and I were legally married in Massachusetts. Well, it didn't really do much good when we're to say we were legally married when we went back to Indiana to our home. Our marriage wasn't recognized. We couldn't file income tax together either because even the federal government didn't recognize our marriage. Finally, with the hard work of the allies of the LGBT plus community, marriage equality came to be. I didn't really realize how important it was going to be in my life. I mean, great, filing taxes together, that helped us some, you know, money's always good. But it really hit me when Lynn got COVID in 2020. Because our marriage was legally recognized, I was able to make medical decisions for her when she was no longer able. If our marriage wouldn't have been recognized, her son would have taken over and I would have been left out. The other thing that it did for me was I was able to be with her when she died. And if our marriage wasn't legally recognized, like I said, I would have been able to make decisions for her or be with her. This is just one example of how changing laws can change people's lives. So, how can you, as an ally, make changes to the unjust systems and laws in our state? PROMO is an organization that confronts systemic inequities to liberate the full spectrum of the LGBTQ plus community from discrimination and oppression. That's PROMO's own description of themselves. So on their website, they maintain a list of bills in Missouri to watch. So last night, there were 52 bills on PROMO's website. Unfortunately, if passed, most of the bills will cause harm to the LGBTQ plus community. PROMO provides information on how you can oppose the bills. Here's just some of the bills in our state legislature. It's House Bill 1405. This bill prohibits any school employee or independent contractor from using a pronoun for a student that does not align with such student's biological sex as indicated on the student's birth certificate without written permission from the student's parents. House Bill 1789, covenant marriage. This bill is very strange to me, but it says that there will be a Missouri Covenant Marriage Act, which allows interested parties intent on marriage the option to apply for a covenant marriage license, which will be considered the equivalent of a standard marriage license. The bill outlines the requirements for covenant marriage, which include that it is only between a man and a woman. Well, there's more to it that they have to do 40 hours of marital counseling and go through a lot of things to be able to get a divorce. But reading that bill makes me think, what's next? They'll come for what was my marriage and other people's marriages. So Senate Bill 776. So currently, the prohibition on the prescription or administration of cross-sex hormones or puberty-blocking drugs for the purpose of a gender transition for persons under the age of 18 expires on August 28, 2027. This bill would make it so there is no expiration date. It will go on forever unless they would change it again. There are some positive bills too. There wasn't quite as many, but so House Bill 1999. It allows school districts to include instruction on LGBTQ contributions to society. House Bill 2478 prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Well, I'm thinking, boy, we're really behind the times if we have to put in bills to make it so that they can include LGBT people in instruction and to keep from being discriminated against. I had a really hard time reading about these bills that are being put forward to hurt the LGBT plus community and to hurt me. So what else can we do besides work either against or for legislation? Well, first, I want to go back a minute. This isn't on my script, but we've been trained through MCU how to work against these bills that are hurting the LGBTQ plus community and work on how to help support the bills that are good for us. So think about those things when you're looking at the Promo's website. So another thing we can do, the LGBT plus community can do it, and all our allies. Attend a Gateway Open Affirming Convocation. It's a way to learn more about being an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. A diverse selection of sessions are being offered this year. I'm going to give you some of the titles of these to hopefully pique your interest and make you want to go a little bit more. Allyship, tips and tools. Coming home, supporting our queer youth and their families. Stories from the front, treasuring our transgender children. Biblical clobber texts. These are just a few of the sessions being offered. So you've heard this before, but I'm going to do it right now during sermon time. I challenge Peace to have, to have 10 people attend convocation, okay? Right now, we have 3 people signed up for sure. Some others have shown interest, so I'm looking forward to the rest of you to sign up. And we can pay for more than 10. We'll pay for as many as want to go. So I look forward to seeing you there at convocation. So next, I'm going to take this with me as I start my technology. Some of our youth, they have recommended a video for us to watch today. That video is by Taylor Swift, You Need to Calm Down. And they knew that this was going to be a worship service about being an ally. So I would say to all those people that are hateful and hurtful to the LGBTQ community, yeah, they need to calm down. But as allies, we don't. We need to stand up and do something. So dear friends, let us love one another because love comes from God. I have hope that the LGBTQ plus community and its allies working together will bring about changes we no longer have to ask. Lord, how long must I wait? How long must my heart be sad day after day? How long will my enemies keep winning the battle over me? Let us work together to bring about change. Amen.